Stop, everybody. Let's do this. So, I've spent my pre-stream here, starting my solo queue in DSHS. Let's see, what do we have? We got 10 monsters remaining, so perfect time to swap over, huh? Getting a little practice in. Zipping around the place. But, yeah. Assassin's fun. Risky. Hard. I gotta say, Assassin is probably one of the hardest classes I've ever played in this game. And it is so much fun. It's just so risky. I really got to get better defensive gear right now. Ever since I got the DS, it's like I flinch too much now. And flinching is just like the last thing you want to do. So we'll just pop that. There we go. 100 monsters dead. Alright, let's see if I can get partied with Lorak here. Actually, you know what? I was going to message him. But this is an assassin. I don't need to message anybody. I'll just run over to him. Let's see here. Party. Let's see, what do we got? 26 minutes till boss? Alright. Get some mana pots while we're at it. Yeah, that's the thing, GP. Finding those parties. That's the essential part. Yesterday I found some good parties. We were in, here in DSHS. We had 4 people. Which, at this point in the season, I am always grateful to find a 4-person party in DSHS. Where's my bud? Alright, he's coming. Alright, I'll have to rebuff when he gets here. There we go. Have your movement speed buff. And then let's do this. So yeah, that was really nice actually yesterday. Alright, I'm hoping to be able to use him mostly as a tank, so then that'll make this a lot simpler. So what I found typically is just getting 2... If I can get 2 poisons off on each mob, that tends to be enough to kill it relatively quickly. So just get 2 hits off. Useful loot when you've got a lot of stuff around you. Then just keep with the basic attacks. A lot of primary attack in this class. And just keep missing too much. Like, that's actually, I guess, one advantage of Polluted is Polluted can't miss. Well, I mean, I guess it can from a percentage-based thing, but it doesn't miss from an attack rating-based setup, so. Oh, let's add back in my, there we go. Gotta turn back on my, my mascot. We can pull some people in here. Alright, so I should have a quest here. Yes, Dark Knights is what I'm still on. I love killing things before they even get to the fight. That's probably one of my favorite things to do with Assassin. Is because you can move so fast. It's like they just don't even get past their spawn point before you've killed them. Also love the fact that you can get enough stacks on some of these monsters so that they're basically dead before they even can attack you. That's not something that's going to work in the late game maps, I know. But at this point in time, it's quite fun. Now, I'm afraid I might have lured. Ah, yeah, see, this is why it's so messed up right now. I did lure some out of the spawn. I had a feeling the spawn was low. Alright, there we go. That should help this spawn. So I've completely switched my build since the last time I streamed this character, obviously. Because I hit level 66 to get polluted. Which is, like, the key to this entire character. So I used to be rocking... Why did those two witches just disappear off the face of the planet? Okay, that was weird. I have no idea what just happened there. Anyway, I used to be rocking a Gust Slash base build with a max... fully maxed chain, which was very good before I had Pollute, but now I have completely swapped over to this Pollute Venom Thorn build. And I also went max Impus. I really debated for a long time what I was going to do for my other skill, because there really isn't much that goes... There's really not much that's necessary at this level. So there is no need for any type of single target skill at this level. Sorry, I should state, there's no reason for a non-elemental single target skill until level 90. That's when you fight your first boss that is high elemental resistance with CCQ and, well, all those bosses, right? So I didn't bother putting anything into, what is it, Soreblade? Is that the, yeah, Soreblade is the single target non-elemental. There's no reason. Every boss I can kill right now with elemental damage. So, there really wasn't anything to put the stat points into, honestly. I could have put it into, what am I doing? I need to pick up, not that one. We've had reset, so there we go. I could have put the stat points into, say, dual wield mastery to increase my attack power. But I didn't see the need, because the problem with dual wield mastery is it's based off of your weapon damage. Weapon damage at this point in the game is very low. So actually investing into any kind of mastery skill early on in the game is, to me, a giant waste of points. Because your gain you're getting out of that skill is minimal. It is nice that that gain applies to basically everything you do, but it's such a minimal gain that I feel like investing into actual skills is more worth it. Like, for example, my Atlanta, I didn't put anything into my mastery skill until I was, like, at least 9x. Because it just wasn't worth it. So, anyway. I looked at some of the other options, too, like block mastery. And I gotta say that defensively, I am not struggling defensively with this build yet. I might when I hit CT. So that might be a change of build then. But at the moment, I mean, sure, I'll take damage, but I'm not struggling. So, I don't need to add more block mastery, which is what? Dodge mastery, or evasion, sorry. Or, sorry, is it alas? Yeah. Alas, I could give evasion to party members, but really, I don't think many people at all struggle with survivability at this point in the game. So, giving my team survivability seemed pointless. Now, if this was still the early season, I probably would have gone with Alas to give my team evasion. Why is that? Because early on in the season, nobody has good gear at all. Because we can't find good gear. So putting in those defensive stats, especially team buff defensive stats, makes a lot of sense. But we're at the point where gear can easily be found. So there's no reason to worry about it, in my opinion. So that is why I didn't do that. What were some of the other options I had? Let's see here. Did he just... Is he leaving? Or what's going on here? Just, okay, questing. What are some of the other options I had? Soul Shock was something that I wanted to use. But, the problem with Soul Shock is it does stun enemies. But the moment you deal damage to those enemies, they lose their stun. Which, honestly, is just... It just makes it pointless. it gives you a very split second of stun on the monster, which is cool and all, but it's not really enough to justify putting points into it. In fact, Soul Shock level 1 and Soul Shock level 10 essentially do the exact same thing if you use it in the context of combat. There's no gain by putting any points into it, so I didn't. Let's talk the rest of them. So we talked about dual wield mastery. I talked about why I didn't do single targets. And then I talked about why I didn't do dodge mastery. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's why I was kind of left with one skill. And it's the movement speed skill. I didn't actually think it was necessary because I really don't need to be much faster. I thought I was fast enough. But with nothing else to put skills into, you might as well just make yourself faster. So I've actually had quite a problem with Assassin, I gotta say. A lot of the abilities seem to have a lot of potential use, but in reality, either by some kind of bug or just by the way that they work, they aren't actually as useful as you'd think. So it's sad, because I feel like the class has a lot of potential, but it's not being allowed to progress to its full potential. So I would like that to be updated at some point. Maybe in a PvP context it would be better, but we'll see. Until then, we're just going to use Polluted. The problem with any damage over time skill in a game like Pristontale, and I've been saying this since the beginning, it's so hard to balance a damage over time skill in Pristontale. They are so unbelievably powerful. Like, you're just never going to match that with any other skill. It's so hard. I had a similar issue with Atlanta, where it's like, once I got Storm Javelin, especially got it max chained, I mean, it's just untouchable by other AoE style skills because just that DOT is so strong. So I don't know. It's an unfortunate situation we're in. DOT feels great to use. It feels great to use because it's so powerful. But in all honesty, should the game have DOT? Maybe not, because it's just so powerful. I don't know. It's a toughie. Alright, look, get out of here, you. Like, just the fact that I can attack that thing a couple times and then just leave. And then it just dies. I mean, that's so... There's so much about DOT that makes it more powerful than just the fact that you kill fast. Or, like, the fact that it does high damage. Oh, level difference. Maybe if I delegate... There we go. What, 77? Okay. But it's like that. Your DPS potential actually increases even more than just the damage that is done by the DOT. Because the fact that I can leave things, that I can fight things and then I can leave them, is huge. I can move on to something else while this thing is still dying. We are going to be destroying this spawn now. Double assassin. Oh dear god. What I might want to see out of Polluted itself is an actual reduction in damage that Polluted does. Now, Polluted, just for those of you who are not aware, is the AoE skill. It is the one that's putting out this green gas everywhere. Now, I think there needs to be more emphasis put in this build on the single target part. There needs to be more emphasis put on the single damage part of this build, because what I don't want to see out of people is just purely using Polluted for damage, and that's it. I want to see the chain effect that you have to do, where polluted basically is only adding a stack of, well, poison. I don't want to see the class just be a spam your AoE non-stop type class. There's potential here for it not to be that way. Many classes are just that way, and we're too late to be able to do anything about it. But Assassin, we essentially have a clean slate where we can do whatever we want with the class because it was made so poorly to begin with. So let's try to make it so that it's not just a stand in the middle of the hell spawn spamming one skill type of class. Is he getting attacked? He's getting attacked. You leveled up. That's cool. Alright, I have barely used any potions at all since I got here. That's cool. That is not the place you go AFK in this spawn. Because there is a spawn flag directly on top of him. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to watch him. Okay, he's back. Good. But then the problem is, if you do it what I'm saying, and reduce the damage done by polluted, you would need to give some reason to level it up. And I guess that does become difficult. Because if it's all it's going to do is add a stack, then you could just always use it at level 1. Because really that's its primary purpose. So there is a little bit of a situation there that you have to deal with. Now what I'm yet to figure out with... Oh god, he's still getting hit. Is what's the best approach? Usually is it to hit with your primary attack first, then pop a polluted? If it's an AoE type mom? Or... I guess that's probably the way you want to do it. Alright, see, like, right there, I actually attacked that one too long. I don't need to do, especially with another assassin here, I don't need to do much more than 2 hits on any monster to ensure that it dies. Anything other than that is over damage, and it's just a waste of time. So, for those of you not familiar with how Assassin works, or if it's not obvious from the gameplay that I'm doing right now, the polluted, the green thing that I just cast, that does very minimal damage, but it adds a stack of poison. Then, if you attack with your primary attack, what it does is it increases the amount of damage each stack of poison does. So basically, the way the character is meant to be played is you increase your amount of stacks by using the AoE skill, but you increase your damage on a target by using your single target skill. It's an interesting combination of things. And it makes for some very interesting gameplay. Like right now, that thing got poisoned, but it never got hit with a single target. So the damage it took was actually quite low. So actually, one of the, I think the big things about this build is actually trying not to use polluted too much. Honestly, actually becomes one of the problems. Because if you use polluted too much, it's actually, all it's doing is adding that stack. And if you don't hit that target with a single target skill, you're actually just wasted damage by putting a pollute on something. So actually, I think the key with this build is making sure you're using these as efficiently as possible. Alright, let's see here. We'll throw that down. Hit it. Hit it. Also, at least we're at an advantage now, too, that poison damage can kill. And also, so this is another thing about polluted. I'm still trying to work out the efficiencies of this build, and when is the best use case for certain things, and when is not the best use case for things. When I say that is, I don't know if two mobs are in front of me. I don't actually know if it's more efficient to just attack them with the primary attack or switch to polluted, because polluted takes a very long time to cast. I mean, it's relatively a long time, but I mean, I'm incapacitated for a lot of time there. And is it faster, because I attack so fast with my primary attack, to just smack each one once with my primary, rather than wasting the time with polluted? I mean, everything I'm talking about, you know, it's borderline if it's even necessary, any of this stuff. Let's see your Guardian St. Crystal. Alright, we are buffed up again. Let's go. What I think is one of the biggest things that we're gonna have to deal with as an assassin, actually, is mischance. Mischance with daggers. Typically, I don't give attack rating much love in this game. It's important, but since I typically play ranged classes, I just naturally get high attack rating and I don't have to worry about it. But what I'm finding with this class is if you miss one of those primary attacks you're hitting with, it really throws you off. So attack rating might actually be incredibly important to push on this character. So much so that I might be recommending not doing an HP mix on bracelets. And I might actually change my recommendation to an attack rating mix because of how essential it is to how this character plays. We'll see. Gonna have to give it some more time before I figure out what I'm doing. But I do think defensively, class doesn't have much to worry about. If you try to play this class like any other melee class where you're just standing in the middle of the combat, you're never going to survive. You cannot play this class that way. This class has to be running around. That's your key to your survivability. Did we hit that? People who've watched my stream a long time might know the concept that, at least what I call it, me and people in my clan call it, ice mine tactic. And what that is just when you pile every single person on the team on top of each other. And you just use all your AoE centered on the exact same spot, which is a very efficient way to play this game. Especially if you're within range of all the flags in a spawn. Very efficient way to play. It's the way that the pilots would play in Ice Mine, which is where the name came from. Ice Mine tactic. You literally just stack yourself up, spam your AoEs, and you get kills faster than any other way of playing. Now, the problem I see with Ice Mine tactic is it doesn't work so well with Assassin in the way that it is now. I feel like Assassin's purpose within an Ice Mine tactic setup is not so much to stand in the middle spamming poison, so much as it is to run around sniping off the ranged things and almost behaving more like a ranged class than a melee class. I think that's the best way to play the class. Let's see here. Alright, let me just go hand over a couple. How many Murky Forces do I have on me? Yeah, I can hand over a couple. I'm honestly kind of low on Murkies, but I'll give a couple. Murkies and Divines I do not have unlimited supply of anymore. I have no character that I'm playing that's at the level that it can get those. Before. Alright. Buffed up again and head on back. Excuse me, sorry. So what level am I? 67. Okay. Boss spawn. Oh shit. Boss spawn's in 12 seconds. Almost missed that. Back. Doom Lord spawned. There he is. Okay. So we'll just throw that down. Back around to the outside. Do that. Now, I need to make sure that I don't. Alright, hit him twice, and then we pull out the bow. So the bow is maintaining the stacks, even though I don't know if I need to right now because the other assassin's here too. Excuse me. Okay, I thought I could handle this mix. This mix ended up actually good. I do love jungle music, but that one was just a little too much for me. This might be too slow for me. Alright, I'm gonna find something. Let's see here. Go with this mix. What I really don't like about Assassin, I will admit, is the names of the skills are not explanatory enough. Like Impis. What the fuck is Impis? Impies? Impes? What even is that? You know what? I'm gonna Google it right now. No idea. Nothing. Comes back with nothing. So, like, just name it the speed buff. Something. Because I always get confused between that and Alas as to which one's the one that does the speed buff. I don't know why I think Alas should be the speed buff. Normally, I'm alright with having names that don't exactly describe something, but having names that are literally words that don't make any sense are probably bother me a little bit more than they should. I mean, I guess with Alas? I don't know. This whole class was just... The original developers on this class, just weak. Just really weak, in my opinion. Damn it. It's funny, too, because, the demon skill that fighter has, which I don't think I ever call by its correct name. What is it called? Demon's Bane? I actually had a different recommendation for the name of that skill, and it was one that was less descriptive. Or is it Demon's Bane? It's something. But I had an even less descriptive name, and I wanted it in that case. But something about Impus just, like, bothers me, because it just doesn't have any description at all. Alright, you're dead. You down. I actually run into a problem here. I need to go find, I need to go find more Divines on my Atlanta and Murkies, because I've reached the point now where I want to upgrade my weapon every 5 levels. I was skipping for a while, because I would always do a good mix on my weapons, so I would let them, excuse me, I would let them last for 10 levels or so, but now I want to upgrade every time. And the problem is every time I upgrade, I need 3 Divines and 1 Murky. And I just don't have that anymore. I've actually considered trading Raidens for Murkies and Divines, because I have so many Raidens right now. Because there was leveling this character, which just gave me a ton. And last night, me and a friend decided to level up new characters. Just for the hell of it. So I leveled up a mage. So actually, this is pretty interesting. Me and a friend leveled up a mage, leveled up 2 new characters last night. And we started with 3rd person also. But he dropped out at about level 20. It took us about 3 hours to get to level 37. We went very fast, and this was a mage for myself and a fighter for my friend. We like, compared to my solo speedrun that I did of Shaman, or mostly solo speedrun that I did of Shaman to level 40. I mean, that took like what, 6-7 hours, and we did this in 3. Crazy how fast we went last night. And you know what the key to leveling fast in this game is at low level? Don't do any of the quests, minus boss quests. There's only 2 quests two things that are essential when it comes to questing to level up quickly in this game. The Ruin and level 15 weapon quest and boss quests. Other than that, if you want to level as fast as possible in this game, always go to maps 5 levels before you're supposed to go to maps. What I mean by that is, for example, Forgotten Land. The quests there are for level 30. You go there at level 25. Oasis, the quests are for 35. You go there at level 30. As long as you're basically always going to maps 5 levels before you're supposed to go to them, you will level faster than doing the quests in those maps. Assuming you have a good enough party. And in our case yesterday, that just took 2 of us. We did get a priestess for a little bit too, which was obviously very helpful. Well, I might be losing all my parties here. Wonder if Lorak's gonna stick around after he hits 70. If it was me, I probably wouldn't. I would go check to see if there's a party in CT. But if I didn't find one, I'd probably come back. I was hoping to be 75 today, but I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. Because obviously I'm quite a ways away. Oh, nice. Bagel's gonna get up there too. Sweet. I'm quite a ways away now. Because I got started later today than I was planning. Let's see here. So, okay, one more level and I get level 10 Impus. That'll be nice. Give me even a little bit more of a speed boost. Not that it is necessary in any way. It'll give me 4% more speed. Crazy. I don't even have a speed mix on my boots yet. But I think what you gotta do is you just gotta use this to your advantage in as many ways as possible. Don't just use it for getting from point A to point B fast. Use it in combat too. Pick out the stragglers on the outside before they get to the spawn. You have the ability to get to those before they even get to the main fight. Use that. Why lure when you can just kill things before they even have to make their way to the spawn? See, this one I must have not gotten the first hit off of. Let's see here, actually. I'm actually gonna turn on a different mix. I found a mix yesterday that I really liked. I'd like to listen to it again. There we go. Listen to this mix. Yesterday I woke up. There's the reason I didn't stream yesterday. I wanted to, but I woke up like really frustrated and just like annoyed and just didn't feel good at all. And I mean, I know we've all been there, but I just had no desire to stream. So what I ended up doing was I just found like some of the most relaxing music that I know of, like artists that I really love, and just find their music very relaxing. And honestly, I just spent a good hour just listening to it, and it improved my mood so much. And this was one of the mixes I listened to yesterday, and I kind of got the desire to listen to it again. Right before the stream started today, I got some pretty bad news related to some financial stuff that I'm dealing with because of my disability leave. So you know, I just kind of like the idea of just chilling with some music, some relaxing music right now. Honestly, one of the reasons I started up this stream today was because I just needed a distraction from that news. In fact, I might even take some pills. The funny part is, if you want to play a relaxing class, this is like the worst class for relaxation you could ever play. Because it's just like, this is like ADHD, the class, is how I would explain Assassin. Because it's just switch, 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 switch. You're just constantly changing up your target, constantly shifting where you go, moving super quickly. In fact, I kind of want to update the stream title. Just call it ADHD the class. Maybe that'll be my stream title for the next stream. I couldn't think of a funny title for this one, so I just kind of went with something boring, but next time I'm calling it that. No, I only get one off. I got one off. Okay. Oh, hello, Doomguard. Should probably get some of these guys, huh? Oh, you know what I just realized I wasn't doing? There's another setup that I was doing yesterday. We'll see if I still think it's applicable. I wasn't using just primary attack for my... Hey, Firefighter got to 105. Congratulations. I was using this ability because it instantly gives 4 stacks, which is even better. But the problem with this ability is it is very slow comparatively. You know what? I'm not feeling it. Think about it later. Not right now. Definitely one of the problems we have, and this is a known problem that will eventually be addressed, is that skills now are so much more powerful at earlier levels that monsters don't live long enough when you're at the early game maps. I think it's at about Iron 2 Ice-ish, where things start to balance. Maybe Iron 1 also, where the health of monsters starts to get to a point where it's not as ridiculous in the speed of which you're killing things. But at this level here, it's still, things die far too quickly. So that there's like not even enough time to set up. Okay, yeah, he is leaving. Figured he would. There isn't even enough time to set anything up. Bagels, you watching? Where you at right now? Are you in Beehive? Grinding? Can help you get up to 65. Since I'm just gonna be soloing here now. Speaking of which, what do I need for... Okay, we're getting up to... We'll be at 68 shortly. I'm sitting on quite a bit of XP with the solo queue and the boss queue. Yeah, I'm sitting on 15 mil. Oh, this ain't good. Might die. Alright, we're good. So I still think you can play this. Oh, come on. Double miss. You can still play this even when you're soloing, kind of the same way that I was before. It's funny, I think the best thing you can do as an assassin, which is counterintuitive compared to how every other class plays, is to not group the monsters. You want them to stay separated. You want to do single attacks. You don't want to use an AoE. You just want to use your basic attack. So, like, right now, I'll just ignore the main crew and just run around picking off the stragglers. Because when they're moving like this, they can't attack me. And then I can pop in, deal some damage. Like, is this the most efficient possible way to play this class? I actually don't know. Probably not. Oh, hey, I won. Ah, that's right. Bring it. I thought it was a quest thing, telling me my quest was complete. Until I looked at it a little closer. There we go. That's the quest stuff. Did I not get him? There we go. Oh, I got him. I just thought about something. A new option for a build for this class. What's the animation speed on that? Okay, animation speed on Gust Slash is not bad. Interesting. I just thought of a potential for a build with this class that actually does not use polluted all that much. And instead, it uses a combination of Venom Thorn with a fully maxed Gust Slash. Where, when in situations like this, you don't use... Okay, I'm really liking the potential of this idea, actually, right now. Oh, downside is I don't have any skill train stones. And Gust Slash requires a skill train stone. Damn it. It would take too long to test the build properly without... Let's see if somebody in my clan has any skill train stones. Because I'm looking at what I'm doing now. I'm looking at the way that I'm playing this character. And honestly, the pollute skill Though it does add a stack of poison, and that will probably be effective at later levels when monsters have more health. At this point in time, adding that single stack of poison is not as necessary as it seems. It's not doing much damage. So instead, what if I skipped Pollute entirely and I put everything into Gust Slash again, but I paired Gust Slash with a maxed out Venom Thorn for single target damage. So I still do this as style where I'm running around all the time, right? But when I see large mobs, I come in with a Gust Slash instead and just hit it with basic damage and not damage over time. So I DOT the side mobs, and I hit the main grouping with just straight up physical damage. It might be worse. I mean, in fact, there's a very high chance that it's worse. But it's an idea of a potential that might work with this class. Because I just don't feel that I'm taking advantage of this pollute as well as I should be able to. If monsters had more health, then yes. But they don't. So it's weird because it's counterintuitive. I'm asking my clan chat. Because that is one of the advantages of polluted. It's a tier 4 skill, and tier 4 skills do not require training. Oh, how nice that is. I think that might be one of the also reasons why skill training in and of itself is actually really annoying, because it only applies to active skills, and it only applies to tier 1 through 3 active skills. Like, it has no effect on buffs. So depending on what your class is and depending on how your class is set up, you could potentially have no need for a skill train stone. Or if your class is set up in a different way, you all of a sudden have all the need for skill train stones. And it is inherently unfair, actually, the skill training system. I never thought about it this way, but it is the truth. For example, my Atlanta, I didn't really have a need for it unless I was doing single target damage, because Storm Javelin is a tier 4 skill. Thus, it doesn't need to be trained. So, I think that's actually a very good argument for why skill training needs to be removed from the game. The fact that it's inherently not even for everybody. Like, you want to talk about the most perfect setup class, it would be all your active skills are in T4 and all your buffs are in tier 1 through 3. And if you can end up with that setup, you will never have to use a skill train stone in your life. Well, we'll at least get up to 68 here, and then we'll go mess around with the build. Maybe, you know what? I gotta go do a hunt for, Divines and Murkies anyway for this character. So maybe we'll just swap over to the Atlanta for a half hour or something. Try to find some skill train stones, Divines and Murkies, and then come back over here. What are those flags for? The flags that I have on screen, they're a mod that you can get that, well, makes it so you can see mana potions. And, like, multiple other things. Like, for example, if I drop this Raiden on the ground, suddenly I have a flag for Raiden. So, it's the flag mod. It's one of the oldest mods for Pristontale. And, it's a client-side mod, so it's allowed by the server. I mean, you'd hope it's allowed by the server if I'm using it. But, I mean, I have mods galore on this thing, so... Honestly, I forget I have the flag mod on. I I don't know, like, I'm so used to Pristontale with the flag mod because I've been playing it with the flag mod for over a decade. At this point. I think, yeah, it was over a decade when I first started playing with it. So to me, like, the first thing I do when I come to a Pristontale server is I install the flag mod. Every time. Yeah, I saw the 4 ruby stones. Those only do 10% each, right? I'll take them, but I'm gonna need to get more. So I'll just go do some hunting. Easy enough. Online reward, got it. Who knows? I'll go check my online reward. Maybe I got something good, or maybe I got Sparky Forces. Probably Sparky Forces. I should keep a track. Like, I wish when I started playing the server, I would have written down every online reward I've ever won. Just to kind of, like, keep a track of what the best things are. I know I've gotten double Celesto a couple of times. I've gotten Mirage a couple of times. And I've gotten Phoenix Pet. I think Phoenix Pet I got once. I think Phoenix Pet is, value-wise, is probably the best that you can ever get. Because, I mean, it's a 72-hour item. That's pretty big. And we didn't need to go buy pots. The other fun thing about the movement speed with Assassin is you can actually, like, glitch the monsters. So you'll see when I get back what I mean by that. Because I moved so fast. Oh no, they didn't this time. They glitched last time though. Because you move so fast, the monster AI I don't think updates fast enough to just know what's going on, and it just gets confused and it just runs away. The monster AI in Pristontale is a special thing. You know, it's something that was made 20 years ago, and it shows its age. Now, here's the downside about switching that build up, and it might be why I don't do it. The skill point requirement for that setup is going to be heavy. So, it will require me to have maxed Venom Thorn, maxed Gust Slash, and maxed Stinger. Essentially is what I'm looking for. So, I will not be able to put any points in the Infus. In fact, how many points do I have at this, well, point? I think it's like 26 or 27 points. So what I might do, and this is ridiculous, but I may only get the first 6 skills. That's it. Nothing else. Well, no, I would only get the first 6 skills. I would unlock nothing else if I was to do this build. but we'll see what happens. I think that's one thing that people don't take into account enough when it comes to builds in Pristontale is you don't actually have to buy every skill. You can save those skill points. You can just not buy later skills if they're not worth it to you. There's a reason why you always try to make the last skill that gets unlocked in the skill tree something that's really important and good. So that it incentivizes people to have to unlock every single skill in the skill tree. But if there isn't that incentive, then don't get it. Like, for example, on this class right here, I would never pick up Ninja Shadow, ever. I'm never going to bother with it, because I don't think Ninja Shadow's worth it. I think it's probably worth it from a PvP standpoint, but it's not worth it from a PvE standpoint. There's other options that I can use that'll make me less vulnerable from a 1v1 setup, and it won't cost me elite points. So I will just straight up never put a point into Ninja Shadow, ever. And I do that with a lot of my builds on a lot of characters. For example, my Atlanta, I never had any points into Vengeance until 102. When I had nothing else to put my elite points into. So I unlocked it. Because I had already maxed HOV and Storm Jab. I had already taken level 1 of Frost Jab. I wasn't using Frost Jab anyway, so I just put that 1 point into Vengeance. And technically speaking, you could start your non-skill point put in whatever as early as you want. I mean, yes, if you don't unlock, if you don't get to the point where you have tier 4 available, then you're just gonna have EP points that aren't used. But it does save you a lot of SP points, at least for the early game. I do this a lot on classes when I'm leveling up, too. Especially on Seasonal Server, where we have the ability to reskill for free. I will completely ignore putting points into anything that's past the skill that I really want. For example, my mage yesterday, Fireball was the AoE skill that I wanted to put all my points into. So I just didn't buy anything after it. I just pushed that. That's it. So I might do that with this class. We'll see. It's actually how I used to play this class before I got blued, and I think I might do it again. Oh yes, a new season will be great. Unfortunately, we're about as far away from a new season as you can get at this point. we got 2.5 months to wait at the minimum. And who knows if it's even a little longer than that. I mean, we say 2 months, 2 months up, 2 months down for a season, right? But the wait between Season 2 and Season 3 was pretty close to 3 months, not 2 months. So it's like, it's not always. I did not think about that, Crosby. Yeah, Season 4 might be in trouble. I forgot that Diablo's coming out then. Yeah. Like, even I'll probably not play the season to go play Diablo. Don't get me wrong, I love Pristontale. But, I mean, what is Pristontale but an action RPG? And Diablo is, like, the classic action RPG. I mean, literally, I don't know if you know this, Crosby, but there are assets from Diablo 1 that were ripped to make this game. The one that I specifically know is one of the early monsters you fight in Diablo 2 uses the exact same sound effect as the Wolverines that you fight for the Tempskrind Tier 2 quest. It's the exact same sound. So all Pristontale ever was a Diablo clone with an MMO format. So, it's kind of hard to break away from Diablo, even to play Pristontale, because what is Pristontale but a Diablo clone? Just with MMO aspects. Yeah, don't tell Blizzard about that. you imagine if they shut down Pristontale 20 years after it comes out? Because they finally realized that they had assets stolen? Wait a minute, what the hell? Yeah, I've actually, when it comes to Diablo 4, I have actually tried to stay as in the dark as possible. Like, I know some of the basics about what is going to be in it, but I've tried to just, like, not get hyped in any way. Because here's how I look at Diablo 4. I'm gonna buy it no matter what. It's a AAA game in the genre of games that I love. So, it doesn't matter what they do, I'll probably buy it. So, I'd rather not get hyped up and then be disappointed. I'd rather just experience it fresh. Be like, okay, cool, and have fun. Than be like, expecting the greatest thing ever only for it to disappoint. I've been playing video games too long now, and I have been let down way too many times. And I'm just done with that. Getting hyped up over video games. Oh, wow, I really screwed up this spawn at some point. I'm so done getting hyped over video games. That being said, I did just go on a tangent the other day on my stream about how awesome Halo Infinite looks. So, okay, I'm not always good about it, but I try to be better about it. But Halo Infinite does look quite good. Alright, we are at 73%. We got 20 minutes till boss spawn. I need something to drink. Did I miss one of my buffs, or is my buff invisible? It's invisible, of course. Let's see here, 1 second. And that's a lot of witches. See, like, there's an example of a situation where Gust Slash would have been way better than what I ended up doing. Now, if I would have had Gust Slash, 2 Gust Slash would have just killed all those monsters, which would have been faster than the poison approach that I just did instead, where I dropped down that poison and had to do a little bit more extra work to try to kill him. So this is why I think the Gust Slash Venom Thorn combo, I think it's going to shine much more than Pollute. Again, at this level, not at any. I think that's one of the things I actually love about Seasonal, and honestly, I wish we could bring it to Babel too, is the fact that you can change your build at any point. Because to me, especially with Seals 2.0, that is a really vital part to how things play out now. Like, I don't think there should be skill training necessary, and I think it should always be free to redo your skills. Because testing and trying new things out is, like, core to the experience now. And you know what? Changing your build up between level 40 to level 60, because at level 40 a certain thing is better than at level 60, is an important thing to do, I think. Instead of committing yourself to your level 90 build right at level 40, I think you should vary it up as you level up. It gives the game, which already is lacking kind of in content, it gives it some more things to do, to play with. Like, I'd love to make a build guide video being like, yeah, at level 60 do this, at level 40 do this, at level 80 do this. And, like, really try to be as optimal as possible, not just with your end build, but for the entire build process, the entire character. Because I think that's a big part about what I personally feel about Pristontale, is it's not about the result, it's about the journey. That's why I like making new characters. Like, I made this comment before, and I always piss people off when I say it, but I mean it. 10x characters, to me, are worthless. A 10x character has completed the game. There's nothing left to do. If all you have is the end, what's the fun in that? The fun is in the journey. That's why I love seasonal play. And I will continue to be, like, a huge proponent of, like, the early game and the leveling process as being the best part of Pristontale. And the end game being actually one of the worst parts of Pristontale, in my opinion. I mean, just look at the strat. Like, okay, so these things are dying very quickly. Yes, it's relatively easy right now because of how low HP the monsters have, and we do need to fix that. But taking that out of consideration, look how much, like, strategy goes into this combat I'm doing right now. Running around, hitting stuff, running back, hitting stuff. Compare that to any 10x gameplay, or sorry, 11x gameplay, where you're sitting in SL or Ancient Lab or whatever, and what is it? Ancient Weapon, not Ancient Lab. And you're literally just shift clicking a monster and spamming one skill. Like, really? There's no comparison. This is so much more fun to do than endgame combat. So much more fun. So yes, to me an 11x character is actually worthless. Because it's not about the result, it's about the journey. Alright, Doom Guards are done. That's why it's like, what happened with that? What happened with my Atlanta? I got up to 103, and then I was like, okay, new character. like, cool. I hit the point where the game starts to get quite boring. Alright, let's make a new character, and let's keep playing the game. I don't need to dedicate all my time to one character. It's not about how slow the leveling process gets. That isn't the major negative that I'm against. Because if the process of playing is still fun, even if the leveling takes a while, at least you're still having fun. That's not the reason why I don't like high-level gameplay. It's because high-level gameplay, by its own nature, is just boring. Like, I tried to make it work on my Atlanta. You know, I did ET3 solos, where I would take, like, 4 flags. And that was about the max that I could take on the character. But 4 flags is at least something. It does make it a little bit more interesting. But, like, it's just 4 monsters. It really wasn't that much to deal with. It really wasn't that interesting. Like, I want this. I want big spawns. I want hell spawns. I want a 9 flag that I need to manipulate. You know, I'm not talking Wartail where you've got like a freaking 500 flag or whatever they do over there. But like, you know, I got 9 flags that I gotta worry about, that I gotta manipulate. And it's actually survivable to deal with those 9 flags. Anyway, my endgame tangent that I always seem to go on. Probably lost all my viewers that have 11x characters right now. But it's how I've always felt. I even tried. I tried. I bought a 108 character when 108 was the highest map you could get to in the game. And my intent was, okay, let's see what this is all about. Maybe I just don't understand. Maybe because I just haven't had a character up to this level that I just don't see. I don't get what's fun about it because I haven't experienced it. And I tried. I really did. And I just got nothing out of it. I hunted a ton trying to find those 108 gears. And the hunting process was just like, spawn metal golem. Use my different abilities. Shift click target. Wait. Metal Golem dies. Spawn Metal Golem. Shift click. Wait. Repeat process. Always on a single flag. Just... like, really? This is what the pinnacle of Pristontale combat boils down to? Not for me. Oh, almost gonna die. Ah, jeez, man, I am flinching like crazy right now. So, I'll just keep making new characters. That's what's the most fun. Like, there's just no experience like a new season, a fresh season, and leveling up from the beginning. There is nothing like it. Like, I don't know if I've ever played video games that give me as much joy as a brand new season of Pristontale. And leveling up. And, like, finding that gear that you need. Going through the whole process. Hopping into a new... Like think about when you get to Cursed Temple 1. And you're going in there with 4x and 5x gear. And you come up to the first Stygian. And it's just destroying you. And you have to fight super hard to get through that. And all the spawns. And it's just like, if a Shadow and a Stygian both spawn at the same time, you're dead. It's just so tough. But then, as you continue the process of leveling in that map, your gear increases. You get more and more. And you can just feel your character getting stronger and stronger as you go through the process. It's so much fun. Like, the first time you get to Iron 2, and you're just getting wrecked by monsters. And you're like, oh my god, how am I ever going to handle this map? It's so hard. Because you're doing it with, like, 7x and 6x gear. And then as you continue your time there, and you slowly start to build up power, and you gain more damage, and you gain more defense, and suddenly you're playing there at 94, and you're just destroying things. It feels so good to experience that during an early season. Absolutely one of my favorite things. But then you get to like 95, and that's where the game starts to tank, in my opinion. LOC is when the game begins its downfall. It's still fun to play at LOC and LT. It is. But it does start to fall. And by the time you've got... So, LOC and LT, when you first get to ET, it's fun for a little bit. Because you get to do a little bit of hunting to find some gear. And that is fun at that point. Because that gear feels really powerful and really good after you've been using level 90 gear for so long. But by the time you get to ET3, then things start to really, like, come to a close. And that's when I think the game dies. Is ET3, Ice Mine, Secret Lab, Ancient Weapon. Those maps are just... They're the dead maps. They're the ones that kill the game, in my opinion, because of how they work. Apparently I'm on a tangent spree today. Okay, what else can I tangent about? Let's see. There's always something else to tangent about. Especially with Pristontale. Alright, what do we got? We got 7 minutes to boss, so yeah, I'll stick around till boss. We'll kill Mr. Doom. relatively quickly. Ooh, yeah. Boss fights could be something I could go on a tangent about. That's a tough one. Pristontale needs work on boss fights. I think we all know this. Pristontale boss fight has always been lackluster. Yeah, it's just not fun. It's the same thing as single target hunting in late game maps, because it's just a shift click approach and use potion when your health drops low and repeat process for the entirety of the boss fight. Like, when we first got to 102 on the seasonal server, there was, what was there, 4 of us that were 102 when I got to 102. And, well, 4 of us that were actively playing at the time. So we had to do Devil Shot with the 4 of us. And it's just like, alright, time to do a boss fight. Alright, use your buff, stand in place, shift click. I mean, like, we didn't even need to use health potions because we had VR and VL on. Like, the whole boss fight was just... Basically, all you had to do for the boss fight is ensure that you had your stamina up at all times. So using a stamina pot every now and that your buffs were up. And other than that, you could go play a freaking game on your phone. And you'd still kill the boss eventually. Because that's just how easy and simple it was. I would love if we could add boss mechanics. I want, like... Something I would love within King Fury is, like, an AoE that's random within the arena. Where it'll show, like, a circle on the ground. And you have to run out of that circle. Or else, if you stand in it, it'll kill you. It will make the fight more active. People will actually have to pay attention to what's going on. And it'll kill all the people that come there just to leech the XP. Because they won't be able to do anything. Which is a freaking plague on Babel. You see 200 people at King Fury on Babel, and there's like 20 people attacking. It's ridiculous. I've brought multiple people to King Fury or Lord Babel before. I have done it. But, every time I've ever done it, as far as I remember, I always try to be active with every single character. So, for example, I have brought a priestess and 2 mechs before. What do I do when I bring a priestess and 2 mechs? I put both the mechs on auto attack right away on Fury, and then I heal with the priestess those 2 mechs. So, all 3 characters are at least providing something to the fight. It's why it ends up actually running into an issue sometimes, because sometimes my friends will be like, "Oh, hey, can you help me out? I just need you to, I just need you to log in my character for King Fury," or something like that. And it honestly, I gotta say no, because it goes against how I feel about Pristontale. Like, I can't play your character and my character at the same time and guarantee they both live. Like, it's just not going to happen, depending on what class you are. So, I'll just be leeching with one of them. And I don't agree with that. So I can't do it. It's also, and I'll also never ask somebody to take my character for King Fury or something to get the XP, because it's of the same mindset. For starters, I don't like sharing my accounts at all. Like, this season I shared my account once, and it's the only time I've ever really done it. And it was because we were... there was actually a special reason for it. And it was because of the aging event We were trying to find 102 gear as soon as possible so we could take advantage of the aging event. And I needed to go to sleep. I had been playing for like 14 hours that day. So I shared my login with a friend so they could continue the hunt for 102 gear because their character was only 101 at the time. That's like the only time I've ever shared my account information with somebody. And there's another reason for that too. I just prefer to play my character. Like, I'm here to play. You know, I'm not here to be the, I don't know, the owner of a character. I'm here to be the player of a character. And yes, I've bought characters in the past, but every time I've played a bought character, I'm very quick to point out that this wasn't my character from the start. Like, this isn't mine. This is a character I own, but this is not a character I've played. There's a difference. But anyway, I haven't bought a character now in ages. I don't think I'll ever... Now that seasons are a thing, I don't think I'll ever buy a character again. There was a specific reason I used to buy characters, especially when I first got to the server. And it was because the leveling process was so difficult to do alone, since there wasn't low-level people playing all the time, that in order to play with my friends on different classes, I needed to have a character that was like 8x in order to do it. So I bought 8x and 9x characters of different classes to have different experiences with the same people. But now that we have seasons, there's no reason to buy characters anymore. I'll just level up with a new class. That's all I gotta do. That's why I picked Atlanta this season, because I wanted to experience Atlanta. It's funny, I at least from my own perspective, the fact that seasons are a thing actually kills the character selling market. As funny as that sounds, because you're actually adding more characters into the market that are available. But from my own perspective, it just means now there's less of a reason to purchase one. So, anyway, that's a whole other thing. Man, I'm sure I've got nobody watching anymore with the tangents I'm going on today. Alright, Doom Lord, let's do this. So, we're going to throw that down. We're going to do the bow glitch, because it is just so damn effective. Alright, we'll switch back over. See, here is where Gust Slash would be so much more powerful than using poison on all of these extra mobs, because I'm never going to be able to tag all of these extra mobs. Oh, it doesn't help that I've also got 4 witches on me right now. And then my force is about to run out. Alright, anyway, Doom's dead. Oh, I'm about to level up too. We'll just finish up this level, I guess. And we'll kill this guy over here. Come on, just 0.5%. You know what I think is really cool? And is actually going to be one of the coolest things, in my opinion, about the fact that I do these streams of Pristontale and then upload them to YouTube, is that, like, you know, one day YouTube will die, but I've got a strong suspicion that it probably won't be within our lifetimes, right? Or if it does, it'll be very late in our lifetimes. So what I find actually really cool about these streams and putting them on YouTube and stuff is that it's a time capsule. I'm going to be able to come back and watch myself play my favorite game of all time, like, whenever I want, for the rest of my life, potentially. And a game that might not even exist at that point anymore. So I actually think about that a lot sometimes. How I'm like capturing this moment in time. And it'll be really cool in the future to come back to this and relive these experiences again. You know, probably think about how like, oh wow, I used to think that was so important or something. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I do like the idea of that. Because, you know, a game is just a game, but it games mean a lot to us. Like, we've talked about this in the stream before, but like, Pristontale to me is like especially, and probably to many of you, it's just like it meant so much to me, and I don't know why. What is it about this game that that just means so much? I don't understand it, but yet it does. And when I wasn't playing this game for however many years that was, I would still think about this game all the time. And it's so funny. Why does this game mean so much? I don't know. All right, anyway, off of that tangent, let's figure out the skill situation here, right? Oh, Sativa got to 10x. Good for him. We're gonna reset all skills. So we are 68 right now, so I'm just gonna pump health again. Oh, look, it's me. How was the name Avalanche never taken for an archer? Man, sometimes I am so surprised with the names that haven't been taken yet. All right, we have 30 skill points. So what do I lose if I do what I think I'm going to do? I lose not much. I still get dodge mastery, which is like great because level 1 gives you 12% evasion. I'll lose Alas, and that's it. So I'll lose 3% evasion. All right, so here's what it is. These are the only 6 skills we're gonna take. That's it. We're not even gonna worry about EP yet. And then what I'm going to do is I have 8 points left. Okay, so I need to distribute it between 3 skills. So I could just put 8 points in each one of these. Oh, sorry, this one. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna max Venom Thorn. I'm gonna max Stinger, and I'm going to put the rest into Gust Slash up to level 7. Oh, the most ridiculous build of all time, and I love it. Okay, so we got those 2 skills. Now, skill train stones. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do here. Maybe somebody's selling them in town, huh? Let's go see. That or I'll check on my Atlanta. Maybe I do have one sitting in a warehouse or something on my Atlanta that I just haven't noticed. Alright, checking my Atlanta. In a moment. Oh, I should check what I won. I won the Big Head of Love. Sweet. I just absolutely love Big Head potions. That's a joke. I really don't like them. Should do a giveaway on stream for that. I mean, I love that Big Head potions, like, at least give you something. That's cool and whatnot. But man, I really do not like Big Head potions. Just from a look standpoint. They're so ugly. Okay, I've got one skill train stone in my warehouse. All right, we're good. So, let's see how worthless this build is. Now, let's figure out how we're going to do this from a skill standpoint. We're gonna put that on that. We're going to put that on that. We're gonna put that on that. Okay. Okay. Bagels, you watching, by the way? Oh, he was just here. Just got offline. All right. Well, there goes that potential. Um, cool. Well, I did pick up the Dungeon 3 stuff. So, how do I want to do this? I guess we'll go back to DS for now. And then we'll switch back to Dun 3 when boss spawns. But anyway, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab something to drink. So give me 1 second here, everybody. Okay. Ready to do this. Got a sparkling water. I am going to miss that movement speed, though. Who's here? 5x. I could find a 6x. That would be nice, at least. Because we could head to, Dun 3, at least. But, whatever. I mean, maybe there is people in Dun 3. The problem with Dun 3 is it's so hard to check if people are there. Because it takes so long to get there. Anybody grab the spawn? Nope. Ooh, the music definitely changed. Yep. Okay, how terrible will this build be? Find out in a moment, huh? Well, pretty bad so far. Let me put on a force. Okay, there we go. The problem with this build is it will require me to be a lot more centered on the monsters. But like, let's think about this real quick. In one Gust Slash, I'm doing about 500 damage. Before, I was doing about 80 damage per poison tick. If I never hit them with a primary attack. So that means I'm doing the equivalent of 5 ticks with one Gust Slash. So this is far riskier of a build, but I do think the damage output is better at this level. Because it does a lot of damage, a maxed Gust Slash. Oh, you know, I was just like, wait, why do I feel like I'm attacking slower with my weapons? And I just realized why that's the case. I do not have Assassin Mastery, which gives you a 23% attack speed boost. That's a big loss, actually. Bigger loss than I expected it to be. Uh-oh, that's probably gonna kill me. Nope, still good. The problem with this build, relatively speaking to the last build, is how dependent it is on proper lures and groupings. It's more this is more classic melee character play, whereas the other build was more meek. Definitely this is riskier play. I mean, I'm already going through health pots way faster. I will say it's not as much fun as the other build. For sure. It lacks that uniqueness. That was what was making Assassin really fun. So I highly doubt I'll stick with this, but I'm going to give it a little bit longer. I do think it's effective. I do think that is definitely the case. But to me, it's not just about being as efficient as possible, it's also about fun. Alright, good, because I need to buy health potions. Guess what we'll do is we'll finish quests here, huh? What am I at? Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm done. I'm done with quests here, because I did Dark Knights right away when I got here. Right. Well, let's go to Dun 3. Why do I have this random junk on me? I'm gonna litter on the bridge. Sorry, bridge. Also, why do I have a web crystal on me? Here, somebody take a web crystal, enjoy it. Seriously, what am I gonna do with this big head? I'm just gonna give it away, I think, on stream. There was no other purpose for it. In fact, I don't even need these great lives. Get rid of that. Yeah, we get rid of these. I'm not using Mystic Stamina yet. So it's just taking up weight. 2. Yeah, I thought I'd accidentally drop Mystic Mana. Whoops. Okay. All good, all good, all good. Alright, let's go. No. Mana I am not dropping. Nobody in Dawn 2. You know what? I just remembered something that I haven't done in ages. I used to have a rule. If I ever won the online reward during a stream, I would give it away on stream. I had completely forgotten about that. Alright, well, Dawn 3 is empty too, so guess we're soloing this one. Yeah, well. I still have a Dawn 3 quest, huh? Skeleton Knights. Okay, we'll go finish that. I had totally forgotten about that. So I guess I will give it away. So, we got 2 options for spawns that we can take. We got a little bit more spread out situation here. We'll start with this one. Oh, those King Hoppies. Oh, do they hurt. They are always the killers. I might go back to my old build, like, right away here. Especially with the King Hoppy situation in this map. Oof, okay, sorry, I'm back. I had to sneeze really bad. I'm glad the mute worked. Well, we'll get a feel for this for a little bit, and then we'll probably switch back, and then we'll get a feel for the old build here, and that'll allow us to get some perspective on what feels better. So maybe this actually isn't too bad. Maybe it's just because I had those 2 close King Hoppies right away that made it really seem difficult right away. Because if I can get proper control of the spawn, as in, like, do what I just did, kill those King Hoppies before they can actually get into the main group, it might not be so bad. One of the harder things about Pristontale is because it's not tab targeting, which I'm happy for because I hate tab targeting with a passion. It's so hard to focus a singular mob when you've got a group. Luckily, King Hoppies are large, which gives you some advantage, but still very difficult. This build actually, I think, really shines in this map. This, I think, is going very well. Oh, hey, guys. Oh, come on, what's going on? I need to do some testing on the AoE range of Gust Slash to determine on is it character centered, the AoE on Gust Slash? I believe it is character centered. I don't believe it's target centered. But sometimes the way it feels monster target centered. So I gotta mess with that a little bit. I should consult my my skill sheet from before. Let's see here. Skill information V2. There we go. Where did I do Assassin? Probably way down the list, huh? There's Assassin. Okay. Assassin Gust Slash. Tested AoE range at the time was 99. Yeah, that means it was character focused, which makes sense for something like this. Oh, well, there's the solo key done. How long we got till boss? 4 mins. Apparently I can have any monster I want right now as long as it's only King Hoppies and Phygons. If only I was on a King Hoppy or Phygon quest right now. Oh boy, yeah, let's have a couple more. Ah, that's gonna kill me. Whew. Good, good. Jesus, alright. I kind of wish Gush Slash didn't require a target. I kind of wish all AoE skills that were character-centered didn't require targets, to be honest. With the exception of the ones that require it for their animation purposes. Or require it for a certain aspect of the way the skill works, like Tornado, where the target is what drives the range of the skill. But for something like Gust Slash, I don't really get why it needs a target. It should just be able to work on right-click wherever you are. it would feel better. See, these are the little things that Pristontale has problems with that other games do better, because other games have that, like, extra fine level of polish from, like, you know, all the development, and all the people working on it and stuff like that. Where there's been so much playtesting on characters that even my most minute aspects of how a skill works are investigated and thought of. But we just don't have the time or the resources to do stuff like that here, so. Oh, come on. Getting stun locked here. But after going through and trying stuff out, you can kind of feel these things. Another reason why I try to play as many classes as I can, well, ones that I like at least, to try to get opinions on how we can adjust them. I mean, there's no amount of, there is no amount of development necessity that will ever make me want to play a pikeman. Ever. I will never touch that class. And kind of goes the same with the knight. Knight looks at least more interesting to me than pikeman, but so there's a thing about a knight. The reason why I would never play it, and this is kind of a strange reasoning, but you know, it's an MMO, so I think it actually is a valid reasoning. I don't identify with the knight as a character, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel right with me running around as a knight. And in a way, that's kind of one of my pikeman problems, too. Is it just doesn't feel, I don't know. It's not the biggest deal in the world, and it shouldn't be. But since it's an MMO, your character kind of reflects you. So I don't really like knight or pike for that reason. I'm assuming these are my mobs, so let's get rid of these. I do wish that we could, I mean, this is a strong wish that will never happen, I don't think. But I mean, I wish we could have gendered characters. But it's just not a thing. I mean, if female knight was an option, then maybe I'd go for it. Female pike? Yeah, then maybe. Yeah, King Hoppies. They sure can hurt. Okay, is there still more things that were over there? All right, come on. Everybody come back. Let's go back to the main spot. Well, I might be able to hit 70 today, at least. I probably will, actually, at this rate. I'm about halfway into 68. We're probably gonna have to do 79 without any quests, for the most part. But, you know, maybe we'll get lucky and find a party. We'll just go back to DS. Once I get these, once I get the boss queue down here, and get a few of these basic quests done. But obviously, plans can easily change. Plans can change in a heartbeat, depending on if people show up. Because having a party is always better than playing solo, even if it means playing in a lower map than you're expecting to play in. Always. Get out of here, King Hoppies. Ooh. So one of the issues too that I run into with this character at this point is I'm depending on defense rating for my defensive capabilities a lot because I'm using the divine defense mix on my brass gauntlets. That is combating the fact that I'm using basically all 55 gear. The problem with defense rating is it's great. It's great. It reduces the chance of a monster hitting you, but it's a random thing. So there is the potential that you'll get a burst where a lot of hits in a row don't miss, and suddenly you're taking a ton of damage in a short period of time. And you always got to kind of be on the lookout for that when you're playing a very high defensive early game build. I found this yesterday with my magician that I was leveling because I was doing a radiant defense mix. Because that character was like mostly self-found items. I didn't want to use items from my main character. And yeah, similar problem where it's just randomly you just get hit with a ton of damage because you're so dependent on that defense rating. So you just got to be on the lookout for it. You'll feel really tanky for a long period of time, then all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, what just happened? What is up, Iv? How you doing today? Welcome to another wonderful assassin stream, or as I like to call it, the ADHD character. Just soloing my way through the levels these days. Oh, well, I really don't mind solo assassin, at least during these levels. Again, as time continues, things might get worse. But I actually find the solo assassin gameplay to be quite fun. It's strategic. It's very strategic. A lot of running around, a lot of running in circles around monsters and taking advantage of your speed. How did the leveling yesterday go? We got to level 37 by the end. I stopped when Lloyd wanted to stop. I'm only gonna play that character if Lloyd wants to play his character. So. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, Iv, you're gonna find this build funny. I have only unlocked the first 6 skills. So what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of Gust Slash, the AoE skill for Assassin, and its chain with Stinger. And that's what I'm using for my AoE. I'm not using Pollute. So that I can deal this damage. I have literally taken none of the skills. So what I'll do is I'll run up to monsters that are like standout monsters, like the King Hoppies and the Phygons, and I'll hit them with the Venom Thorn single target, and then I'll use Gust Slash for my AoE. Got another web crystal. See, I don't even want a web crystal. They're just annoying. I'm just gonna put you over there. Internet is sucky? Shit. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I myself got some pretty shitty news today. Not like health related, but like related to my disability that I've been doing for the last few months, working on my mental health. And so I'm not in the world's greatest mood in that regard. So streaming is trying to take myself away from that. Basically, I found out that I'm going to be paid 33% less. That essentially is what it comes down to. So I need to, like, get a huge grasp on my spending, like, ASAP. And I knew this was coming, I just didn't think it was coming so soon. Which is why it really threw me off. Oh, there's a lot of King Hobbies. This is what happens when I get a little distracted. Alright, almost 50%. Sweet. Good, we're making good progress here today. Oh! Let's not die. Ooh, I want to check something real quick. YouTube's studio. I want to see how my video's doing. Okay, doing pretty good. Wanted to check out my Atlanta build guide video. YouTube is doing. I think I'll make an assassin build guide. Probably. I don't know. We'll see when I do it. Really depends on what level I get to during the season. My original goal was 80. I think that's going to be very easily doable. Even if I continue at like my current rate, I'll probably be 80 by end of the weekend. Even with like no parties. If I get parties, it's even faster than that. But we'll see. I might end up going for 90 on the assassin by end of season. That might be doable. I don't know. It's so hard to make a prediction in terms of that because it's so dependent on outside variables. It's so dependent on parties. That can be the difference between making 7 levels in a day or making 2 levels in a day. Which it's in a way it's sad that Pristontale is so dependent on that, but I also kind of love it because it makes people want to party. So there's a problem I have with games like WoW, and it's that soloing in WoW is basically just as applicable as partying up. there's no advantage given to basically partying up when you're doing the leveling process. And that just leads to a massively multiplayer online game where everybody's playing a single player game. What is the fucking point of it being an MMO? I mean, I know once you get to like end game stuff, it's different. Like when you're doing dungeons and raids and PvP, yes, okay. Then it's an MMO. But like the leveling process in WoW it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like, okay, go do your quest line all alone for the next thing. Oh, do you want to group up for this one single quest? Okay, well, time to find somebody. Oh, does nobody want to go with you because everybody's just going to ignore you? Well, sucks for you. So, like, I love the fact that PT is so incentivized for you to party up. And yes, that sucks when you have to play solo then. But when you do get that party, it's so worth it. Another KH crystal, huh? Well, we'll pick up these KH crystals, because maybe somebody will need them. I think I have a few in my warehouse already, also. But since this is really the only place you can get them, and some people are idiots and don't get their wings until they're very high level, and then get themselves screwed over. I'm speaking specifically of myself. So maybe somebody will need these. I'm playing it smart on this character, though. I already have the wing for Yura. Oh, shit. I'm doing this one right. I got all my wings right when I need them. And now, let's see here. I already have the King Hoppy for my next wing. I just need the Hulk Crystal, and then I'm all good. I will have my 95 wing. Not that I think this character will level get to 95, but we'll see. Oh, the reason I don't think this character is ever going to get to 95 is because I actually have a 96 assassin on Babel. And I don't think there's any chance of me getting to 96 before season end. So I'll probably just end up switching over to that assassin. Probably. Then again, I bought that assassin, so I might actually just keep leveling this one. Because I'd rather play a character that's my own than a purchased one. Like, I did that with my archer. I bought a level, what was it, 94 at the time archer long ago. And then I leveled my own up. And now I don't even play the level 94 archer. It just sits there. I do nothing with it. But I leveled up my own archer to the 9x instead. Because again, it's about the journey, not the result. Actually, that was my second seasonal character during Season 1. Was my archer. So once I finished my priestess, which I stopped leveling that priestess in Season 1 very early. I stopped at level 92. Because that was when my clan basically quit. It was early. So I decided to start up a archer, and then I got the archer to 9x also, I think, within the season. Alright, what do we need? Any pots? We should be good. Come on, guys. Let's go back to the spawn. Let's go party. Come on. Come on. You guys are taking a little break. You've had your break. Now come get killed. They not follow. Come on, guys. Fine, I'll kill you here. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, we're good. Oh, man. When this game gets a party finder, it is going to be so nice. So nice. That is something I am looking forward to greatly. Especially when you're leveling up new characters like this. Like, I'd love to just put my name on a list and be like, yo, anybody on? Want to party up? Just hit me up. Instead of having to always post and trade and nobody ever noticing it. Or, like, it could even be nice, because if you could check the party finder while you're on, like, another character, and you'd be like, oh, there's somebody looking for a party in the 6X. Sweet. Okay, I'll switch over to my 6X character, and we'll party up. Like, that could totally happen. Alright, we got 10 minutes till boss. So, let's, we're gonna kill boss, obviously. I just started, Illusion Knights. That's actually gonna be good. I'll be able to get a bunch of Illusion Knight kills off the boss spawn, so. I'm debating right now whether I finish Illusion Knights before I move back to DS. Or do I... How much is that worth? 1.5 mil? And I have no quests left, and yeah, we're gonna finish it. XP is worse here in Dawn 3, but it's not, like, horribly worse, so we'll do it. Well, it's taken some getting used to, this build, but I do think this build is stronger. I think I kind of wavered a little bit there at the beginning because of the extreme change in gameplay style, but now that I've gotten used to the play, I do think this is the better build. Which does make more sense when you think about it too, because you're investing more points into one single skill. It's unfortunately the downside of the way that skills are balanced now, where making a lower level skill viable at high level also kind of means that you can make it very powerful as a lower level character. There's so much that goes into, like, skill related stuff. Okay, we need to pull these guys away a little bit. There we go. There, back up, come back. So I wonder what's my estimate on how long it will take to get to 60 or to get to 70. If I don't have a party, it might take like a solid 2 to 3 hours of grinding, since I have no quests really. That is too bad. So we better hope for a party. I'm starting to wonder if this build could be viable even into late game. How much damage does Polluted do at a higher level? That's going to be the key. So, if Polluted starts dealing a lot of damage as you level it up. Okay, so apply chance 50, damage percent. Okay. So I'm a little confused by the description on Polluted. And the reason that is because there's two things listed. There's that attack power boost listed at the top. That's 130%. Okay, cool. But then there's the damage percent of AP at 2%. That's listed right there. Now, if I had to guess what that means, it means poison does two things, and I wasn't aware of this. Poison does an initial physical damage hit, and then it also does an application of poison as well. And so the 130% attack power boost would be on the initial hit. That's not the poison stack. So your poison stack is only 2%, maxing at 11%. So you have a 0.3 second cast skill that does a attack power boost of 220%. You have Gust Slash, which does an attack power boost at max of a little over 100. Now, does Gust Slash hit twice? Am I seeing this right? I don't think so. I know. We're just like a single mob. Play don't kill him. It does hit twice. Okay. Okay. So I do think then that Polluted is the way to go. Because I mean I haven't worked out the actual timing values, but I'm assuming the cast time of Polluted versus Gust Slash isn't too different. And Polluted only hits once for 220% at max level, versus Gust Slash hitting twice at like close to 110% damage, which puts their base damage totals very similar, which means that Polluted in the end is better because it also applies a poison stack. So, no, I don't think Gust Slash will scale into the end game. Only in this mid-game area, when your Polluted is too low of a level, is it viable. Theoretically. Obviously, this all needs to be tested. I do need to test that on Polluted, if that actually is the case, what I'm saying, though. Does it apply an initial damage as well as the stack of poison? Is it doing a physical damage attack as well? Because that is what I'm reading from this description. And at a 145 radius, too. That's a huge radius to just have at default. I mean, Gust Slash has a 120 radius at level 7. Alright, we got boss in 2 minutes. Should have enough. Excuse me. Sorry. I should have enough potions for this. Shouldn't be a problem. is. Alright, so we're gonna try to get him nice and lured. Oh, they're speedy guys over here. It's not the boss that I'm afraid of. It's the, you know, I did finish Illusion Knights just based off. Oh my god. Okay, it's not the boss I'm afraid of right now. It's the 5 fucking King Hoppies. Jesus. Oh, and a Flygon for good measure. It's a King Hoppy boss? Okay, if all these attack me at once, I'm dead. Jesus. The problem with Gust Slash, too, is it is a very slow skill. Okay, we'll get him with a few stacks. We'll hit him with a bow to get that stack up a little bit higher. Alright, he's dead. Cool. Finish Illusion Knights. Alright, let's go turn in these queues. Will this level me? Is the question. I need 20 mil. I probably won't that because I'm sitting on 11.5. The other thing I do with this class a lot is I seem to pick up just random junk all the time. Because I'm clicking around so much that I'll click on items all the time. It just happens. And I feel like I do that a lot. Okay, and we're here. Let's go turn in the solo queue and then the boss queue. And that's all I'll do for solo queues. I won't bother with, what's the 55 map these days? Yeah, Beehive. I won't bother with Beehive. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't usually like going that far down. I usually just do the two solo queues at the most. And we're at 85%. Okay. Let us, well, I am gonna grab the final boss that I have left, which is Vermin. Right? Yeah, Vermin. And we'll head back to the darkest of sanctuaries. Anybody here? What is the max level at the moment, and what does the season do? There is no technical max level. I guess in Pristontale. If you want to talk about who the highest level is currently 120 on the Babel server. The seasonal server. So what the seasonal server does is it is basically a brand new fresh server. So everybody starts at level 1. You just make new characters, they're all level 1. The seasonal server lasts for 2 months, and at the end of those 2 months, the server is merged with the main server. So your characters never go away. It's just a temporary server that allows everything to just start from scratch, essentially. So, like, for example, I have a level 96 assassin on Babel, but right now I'm playing a brand new assassin that is almost level 69. What's my max level character at the moment? 109. On seasonal, my max level character is 103. All right. Let's start up Dark Sanctuary again, huh? Well, we'll at least get to 69 here. 9x gears or 10x gears. My Atlanta, my 103 character has like full 10x gear minus I think some rings. Some of those rings are 9x, but other than that, I'm full 10x gear. Yeah, that's actually kind of the reason I stopped playing it, because I kind of finished the gear, and I don't think anybody's gonna catch me in level. I'm currently the highest level Atlanta, and I don't think I'll be caught by the end of the season. If somebody does start to get close to me, I'll play my Atlanta again. But I just want to get top Atlanta on the season. So don't think of this as an open invitation for everybody to try to take my top title, because if anybody starts going for it, I will fight for it. But I don't think I have to worry about anybody reaching me at this point. The closest person to me is level 101, and they've barely been playing over the last week. Just like me, they've barely been playing. And then 99 is the closest after that. So, we'll see what happens. Oh, I should have grabbed some potions, huh? I am not potioned enough for this health spawn right now. Any of those. Sick. And we'll grab like 60 of those. Yeah. Most vital player for Blessed Castle. You are talking to the wrongest person ever when it comes to Blessed Castle. Because I think Pristontale PvP is the dumbest thing ever. I hate it with a passion. And I think it's so stupid. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you anything about Blessed Castle. It's just, it's such a dumb PvP. All you do is just potion spam and hope to get a crit. There's just no skill behind it. I hate it. I hate PT PvP. I am exclusively a PvE player. Why did wait, what? Why was my Venom Thorn doing so low damage there? Interesting. Like hitting for a stack of 40. There is a glitch I've noticed with Venom Thorn, where when the monster gets low on health, it'll show you your stack damage of what the remainder of health is on the monster. And, it makes it confusing. Oh god, how many characters do I have? I might have to pull out my spreadsheet for that. Because yes, I do keep a spreadsheet tracking all the characters I have, because I have so many different accounts. I think I have like 12 or 14 characters that are at least level 9x. Somewhere around there. I have a lot of characters. Hello! How's it going, Icarus? Angel Gauntlets, the assassin. I'm just gonna say I probably won't hit. Wait, why did that not show up at... One second, guys. Oh, have they fixed the percent priestess to undead? I'm assuming you're talking about extinction. No, extinction still has not been fixed. It is still busted, which is very sad. Because I, myself, have played priestess quite a bit. And extinction is a very fun skill, especially when you get to LOC. But alas, it does not work. DL? I mean, Divine Lightning is working just fine. As far as I'm aware. There was just an update, though. I do believe there was the flinch aspect of Divine Lightning got fixed. So it's not just making everything flinch away from you like it was for a while. That was very frustrating to deal with. I'm trying to think of what else got fixed related to Priestess. Oh, yeah. Don't kill me. The percent chain is why I stopped. What, specifically, what skill are you talking about? Percent chain. DL to percent to undead. Does DL not add percent to undead? So if that's the case, that is not a bug that I was aware of. Or I feel like any priestess I know has ever told me that before. Interesting. Okay, I was not aware of that one. I mean, it might have made its way to the bug tracker, and I just never saw it. But I wasn't aware of that one personally. Yeah, I'll take a look at the bug tracker. We got a big old list of things that still need to get fixed. Unfortunately. The problem with making a massive update to a game is that a massive update comes with a massive amount of bugs. That is the unfortunate part. And when you're working with limited resources like we are, in terms of like team, it can be a lot of work to get all those bugs fixed, so. I mean, for example, like Mech, one of their skills just straight up like did not, I mean, kind of like Extinction for Priestess, just straight up did not work up until the latest update. And then the latest update finally made that skill work. And it's just the sad reality of what we're in. We can try our best to be as professional as possible, but in the end, it is still just a private server, and in the end, there's still going to be limitations to just how much time and effort we can develop or we can put into something that is essentially a fan project. You know, like I myself personally, everything that I do for this game is volunteer work. So it's you know, sometimes just can't get everything done, unfortunately. I wish we could though. I wish we could. Yeah, there's the reason why I put so much time and effort into this game, is because I am a huge fan of Pristontale. Huge fan. Like, my favorite game ever. And I put time and effort into this server and try to help it because I see this server as being the true successor, the true vision of what Pristontale was. It's the true continuation of everything that made original Pristontale great. That is why I devote myself to this server, essentially, when it comes to helping. Because I think the vision of this server is better than any other Pristontale server that exists. Make mobile PT. So, okay, let's talk about mobile PT for a moment. Sounds great, right? Like, in theory, it could be really good. Like, it'll bring a lot of people to the game, right? How the hell do you do the input for a mobile Pristontale? Like, I'm curious. What is the ideas that people have for that? Because I'm scratching my head like, how would you do that? Pristontale requires a very fine-tuned input method. Like, you need a mouse to do this properly. How would you ever do that on mobile without the whole experience feeling terrible? Like, that's the question I always ask. Mobile sounds great. It does. The potential to bring lots of people to the game, like, access-wise, mobile is great. Because Pristontale doesn't need a powerful computer to run. It can run on phones, easily. So, like, we could get more people to the game just by having it be mobile. But there's issues. And that's the problem. You have to solve a lot of things. And, my fear would be, if you do something where mobile is an option, it cannot come at the expense of making the computer-based version of the game worse. That, I think, is a huge part of it. Like, if there was ever a mobile version of this game, the mobile version of the game needs to be the secondary version of the game, not the primary version of the game. Because Pristontale is a PC game at heart. Mobile would just be convenient. Like, I would actually love it. This would be super cool. So if you have, like, an Android phone, I don't know if you know this, but you can hook up a mouse and keyboard to it, and they work properly. Like, you'll see a mouse appear on your phone. You'll be able to type. I would love to play mobile PT and then just plug a mouse and keyboard into the phone and then just play it absolutely normally, like any normal Pristontale. You need a special adapter in order to do that. It's called an OTG connector. But if you have that adapter, which you can buy for like cheap on Amazon, you can play like most Android games with mouse and keyboard. All right, we are at 96%. We're gonna level up soon. And it's just one level to go till 7x. Solar faster. Oh no, party is always the way to go. Party is always the way to go. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You should always try to find a party first before anything. I'm just soloing because there's nobody to party. When we get to this point in the season, so we're about a month and a half in to the 2-month season, and a month and a half into the season is usually lost most of its players. That's just normal how it goes. So we, you know, you gotta play with what you got. If you want to keep playing the game, you're just gonna have to solo. Which, I don't care too much. It slows down the leveling speed, but hey, I get to play in a slightly different gameplay approach. And I actually find this style of play very, very fun. So, requires a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more work to play it effectively when you're playing it solo. Like, if I was to just stand right here, like, let's say I just stand in the spawns. Like, look how much damage I would start taking. Like, I can't do that. I gotta play this hit and run style, and I like that. Okay, let's kill that thing. Do I even need to keep picking up mana? It's a serious question. I don't. Alright, I can start ignoring mana drops. Once you hit Dark Sanctuary, the mana starts to become so prevalent in the maps that you don't need to pick it up anymore. I just remembered, I probably need to work on my ring situation and jewelry situation. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little behind on those. Oh, it's always the last thing I always upgrade. I always forget about it. I mean, at least I've got a divine, so that's good enough, but need to work on the rest of those. So I might call the stream here when I get to 69, because I need to go get some food, and also, so there's a project I'm working on, in the background. It's just a personal project. I'm making a mod manager for Pristontale. I'm gonna show it off on stream here in a little bit, but basically it's a way to load and unload mods from the game. You still have to restart the game, but it's basically in a way for me to officially release mods for people to use. And then also people have an easy way to uninstall and install them. So, I'm gonna continue my work on that. I've just got like a beta version right now. But let me show it off and then, yeah, I'll probably go grab some food. Got a 3-hour stream in, so it's about my norm. Working with Chaos? Not on the mod manager. Mod manager is entirely my own thing. It's not using any, like, game code or anything. It's just, it's literally something that can be, it could be made by anyone. But no, I am on the development team for PTEU, though. So I do work on, like, the official game also, but the mod manager is not one of those things. All right, we have leveled up to 69. Let's get out of here. All right, so the mod manager. Let me see if I can find where I put this thing. Let's see here. I haven't touched it in like a week. I was like all about it for a few days, and then I got distracted by other things. So let's see. Seriously, where did I put this thing? PT Mod Manager. There you are. Okay. So you should be able to see this on screen now. So this is the Mod Manager. So first thing you do with this is, well, first thing I should do is I should close my Pristontale. So let's get that done first. Let me close some of my other accounts. I got booted from the server. Okay. Okay. Oh, my other accounts got booted. I don't know what happened. Anyway. So. This is the thing. Now, if I go and... I gotta find the install location of my Pristontale. Which I believe is... Where the heck are you? There you are. Okay, so I paste this in. So, then what I gotta do is I gotta select a mod file. So, there's a type of file called a .ptm file, which is how I will release the mods officially. So, if I go select mod here, and I go to this folder, which is my official mods, these are the mods that I've made so far for people, right? So, for example, Ash's Rainbow UI, the one that you see everywhere. So I have it loaded in now. I can hit the remove mod. Oh god, it's all busted. Oh, I know why it's busted. Hold, please. I forgot to run it as an administrator. The giant thing. Wait, oh no, this is an old version of the code. Shit. Well, what did I do with this thing? Alright, you know what? We're going to the source. We're just gonna open up the code. You guys want to see the code? Welcome to the code. This is how it works. It's not much right now, but it's gonna be a lot more. Alright, so we'll put it on debug and we'll just start it up. Alright. Oops. There we go. So, got that location in there. Select mod. We'll do the Rainbow UI. And, oh, you know what? I fucked this up again. We're gonna get this, guys, I swear. I forgot to run Visual Studio as an administrator. Alright. One more time. Unfortunately, because it modifies the game files within the program files folder, it does require admin rights to run, which is why it always runs into problems. All right, select mod, my official mods, Rainbow UI. So now, if I hit remove mod, Ash's Rainbow UI removed. Okay, so now let's start up PT again. Give me 1 second. Just log it in over here. Okay. Now check this out. Look at that. It's all the original game. All the modifications are gone to it. I'm actually confused at why it seemed to remove more than it was supposed to. Anyway, it's the alpha version of it. A little glitchy at the moment, but it seemed to have removed too much. Let's see here. Let's do install mod. Okay, we're installed again. Because all it was supposed to uninstall was the UI, but it seemed to uninstall the mouse also. So that's a little concerning. This is why we test things. Yeah, I don't think it, weird. Why did it delete everything? Alright, well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, Rainbow UI is back. So, that's all it is. It's just a very quick way to uninstall and, install, mods to the game. without having to manipulate folder structures and stuff. You just load in the file, hit the button, go, restart your client. I want to change it so that there's actually a list of all loaded mods shown here, and then you can just select them to get rid of them instead of this whole having to select the file thing. But that's where it's going to go for the future things. But anyway, that's the mod manager. Watch for it in the future. It'll come out someday. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thanks for coming by, and yeah, have yourselves a good one, and enjoy Pristontale, as always. See y'all.